Hello. So, I've been reading a book. I haven't finished it yet, but I was led to come do a reading for you guys based on some of the things that I've already picked up, that I've already connected now regarding the Orishas. So, I drew up a couple of different little cards here, and I imagine that I'm going to be following up more with this. We shall see. Okay, so real quick, I know you guys, I'm gonna shuffle online just because people like to shuffle online, and we can have some conversation here for a minute. Oh, interesting. Two-cup manifestation. You know, I've worked two-cup manifestation or tried to do that before. I've learned it. I don't know that I've gotten results from it, or the results have not been yielded to me. So until I have proven that, or I've seen that method to be proven, I'm not sure that I'd like to share that. But the moment I find that it's useful or that it actually is something that works, then I will totally come share it. But I don't like to share things that I'm not tested for myself or proven useful. I often just share the information with people, you know. I've tried it. You know, the process seems fairly simple because it's an alchemical practice, kind of, where you're really using your mind power and then the frequency of the water to bring forth a certain shift in dynamic. So, like I said, until I've been able to document results, I won't go there. So, not from what I read. From what I read, it was not. There was no set that you had to do it multiple times or anything like that. It was one that I imagine that you've read up on it already. So, with that, I don't get the feeling that it's something that you have to keep repeating, or you repeat as needed. With anything that, I don't do a lot of magic or, you know, ritual, anything like that. So, but with those types of things, it's your discretion, kind of, you know, where you are seeing results. If you decide that you want to cast or, you know, repeat a ritual, you know, I'm not the right person to consult right now about that, because those are things that I'm still kind of studying and learning. So, one, two, three. How many cards do I want? One, two, three. No problem, no problem. Okay, 6 cards. So that's gonna be 6 cards. 6 decks. I so wish I could tell you more, though, about those topics, but I try not to spirit information that I just haven't studied myself too much. So, what I'm reading right now is the Handbook of the Yoruba Religious Concepts, and this is the study of the Orishas, their story, the history. It doesn't dive into actual rituals and things like that, but it totally talks about correspondences, like correlations between chakras, the Orishas, and some, you know, biblical and other like Taoist and other spiritual concepts and how they all merge. And I'll be honest, as I'm reading this book, I'm realizing that there aren't too many, you know, from what I've studied so far, I haven't run into a whole lot of religious groups or teachings that allow you, that open you up and will compare, not compare, but show the correlation between different belief systems. Okay, so that's something that really, you know, made me kind of feel at ease, even because you don't get, if you go read the Bible or you go read other texts, they're very strict about the belief in that specific text or that belief system. And what I found interesting was that this one kind of, you know, showed some correlations between different systems. And when I come into contact with a inclusive belief system, that it does something for me. I'm kind of like impressed, if that's the word. I don't know. Because anything that tells me that one thing is right over others doesn't really resonate with me. So let me get 3 cards for each of these. And I'm not going to shuffle. Please let me just pick them off of the top of the deck. So yeah, I saw the questions about the chakras, opening them all up at one time. Now, when it comes to energy, you don't really have that much control over what actually moves, you know? I say when we're working with our energetic systems, we have to understand that working with one can affect the others that it's connected to, or, you know, preceding it. So if you are doing work on multiple chakras at once, yeah, all of them can do their thing at one time. But, you know, it's life force energy. So, you know, we are basically just creating space for life force energy to do its thing and balance us out. So if it decides to open all the chakras and have you open, I feel like, you know, that might be quite the experience, obviously, but actually, it seems like, you know, that's probably happens to a lot of people who kind of dive into the spiritual practices and beliefs, even just learning about the chakras and starting that work. It can happen if they've all been blocked for a while. So as soon as life force energy, as soon as you open up and allow a pathway, it's like all of them get addressed or begin to start moving around. And I wouldn't say that it's not safe or that it's not a good idea. I just think that one should be mindful of how deep their own imbalance or blocks really are. Okay, let's go back. For example, if I'm working on my heart chakra stuff, you know, heart chakra stuff is often connected to if you can ask for something that you need. You know, can you speak what your needs are? Can you verbalize that? And then also heart chakra being going down to the confidence with the sacral chakra or the solar plexus chakra. You know, how do I express my love? You know, how do I express it in creative ways? So the interconnectedness of the different chakras and how they correspond with one another. Question that comes up when you're talking about whether or not to open them all at one time. And I think that might be a misconception that you kind of have the choice. I think life force energy moves through us as it sees fits once we have welcomed it too. Yeah, that could be a good practice for sure. You know, if one is focused on creating a daily practice of balancing the chakras, then totally a day-by-day approach would be great. And then even so, you know, that allows you to use that one day to focus on different aspects of healing that chakra. So, you know, if today I'm working heart chakra, I can wear some pink or green, and I can drink teas and consume herbs or bathe in herbs that are correlating with that chakra. I can eat foods you know. So it makes sense day by day. And it's a personal thing, I feel. However, one chooses to, whatever path, whatever pace you're taking, it's just all about your own personal thing. Some of us are thrown into it, kind of. I didn't truly know anything about any of this when I began receiving energy work and chakra work and stuff. So my experience was kind of frightening, honestly. There was a whole lot of things that started to rush to my awareness, and I wasn't even aware. I couldn't differentiate between real life and then the things that were actually just coming up for me to handle. So I do get that might be one of the dangers of moving too quickly or trying to do too much. And then at that time, I was fascinated in so much stuff. What does the third eye help with? Third eye, that's second sight. It's intuition, with the crown being, higher wisdom and connection to the ethers, to angelic forces and sources. Then, the third chakra is the manifestation, or, visuals, insights that are inspired by that connection. So, yeah, there's different levels to the opening of the third eye chakra, different, I say, lenses. So at other times, opening your third eye chakra is not going to help to clarify the dreams. That's what the meditations and things like that are for. When you open the third eye chakra, that's where you begin to receive. You receive these dreams, the vision. So if you're already receiving them, you have a certain level of opening in your third eye chakra. Now, if you're unable to fully understand the messages that you're seeing or the visuals that you're receiving, then you may need to work with the crown chakra more. And also the root chakra, so that you can ground what you're receiving here into the physical dimension. So, I think a lot of people do over focus on the third eye chakra. Third eye gang. It's kind of like a trend right now, as most things turn into. But I feel as if, attempting to seek out, it depends, because I feel like if motives aren't clear, then sometimes your third eye chakra might be blocked. So thank you for those questions. All right, if you guys are ready. Oh, darn. Then here you go. Take a look at the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And whichever one calls to you. Okay. I dropped my stand on the floor, so follow me there. I do thank you for those questions, though. That gave me plenty of time to shuffle. Okay, here we go. So for group 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, this is a lot of work to remember. Okay. 15 minutes for group 1. All right, Elegba. Let's see. Elegba, resentments. I release and forgive. Number 10. The moon. The 10 of cups. And the 3 of coins in reverse. Yeah, there is definitely there's things that are being said or not being said, things that maybe you haven't divulged, say to someone. And I feel like the Orishas are coming in for you. Elegba is saying that, one, you need to spend some time, one, near water, okay? And I know that he is the Orisha of railroads or crossroads or the woods, and it seems like, you know, anywhere that there's trees and water would be a good place for you to go and release some of these pent up energies, because I get the feeling that these things are things that have been long held. Okay, these resentments or pains have been long held, and they're causing a lot of emotional turmoil. Okay, you can't communicate them, and so you're holding them. And what I feel here is that you're at a crossroads, and it's like, are you going to drop it? You know, are you going to go ahead and clear you of it, even if the perpetrators, is what I heard, even if the perpetrators are not going to acknowledge the feelings that you had here? There was something that you thought was going to bring a little more happiness. There was a lack of communication and sharing of actual intention in a situation, and because there was no full understanding about what was happening there, or what was expected, what was anticipated, someone had wishes to have happiness here, and then someone else had something that they hadn't yet communicated about their intent. And so as things are ending and as you're closing it out, you're being asked to drop it, because it's causing a huge imbalance in your system, not just your chakras, but like literally, you know, your nervous system. And this is obviously tied to the chakras, where if we're holding in things, if we can't say it, then we start to feel, you know, they talk about, you know, getting a cough or a sore throat, or just a lump in your throat when you're scared to say something. Okay, this could be about addressing an authority figure as well, or someone who you feel some situation you feel came in between your happiness in a situation, came between you fulfilling a goal, or you receiving what you were supposed to receive, or what you felt or thought you were supposed to receive in a situation. So I release and forgive. You know, number 10 being, you know, let's close it out. 10 of cups, allow myself to move into this happier phase, dropping this resentment, knowing that my joy, my gift, my happiness is here for me to have. I need to choose which path I'm going to take on this crossroad. And, you know, it's some hidden feelings too. So if you've been hiding feelings about a situation, you're being asked, if the situation warrants it or can support it, to go ahead and speak it, you know, or write it. And it's funny because one of the viewers on here was talking about the 2-cup method. I'm not a huge advocate, but it kind of ties in, and she's making me think about the fact that, you know, once we decide that we're moving from resentment to forgiveness to freedom, is what I hear. It's just a decision. It's all it takes is to choose the path. Okay. So yeah, this is definitely holding a lot of power over you. And the Orishas are telling you to release the resentment, to allow yourself to move along this pathway towards your emotional fulfillment. But resentment has no place there, right? Resentment will continue to block you from that. Yeah, there's no masking. You don't have to mask the feeling. It's exhausting to try to mask it. More productive to go ahead and release it. And let's see. I don't know what this Psalms card says, but I'm going to tell you what it says here. 134. Divine and human are synonymous. Allow your design. I don't even need to read scripture, but it's your divine self can't emerge. You know, you are the thing that's separating you from your true divinity, from your highest expression of self is being blocked by resentment regarding, I want to say, hidden intent, hidden intent. So 21:35. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to learn how to timestamp my videos. I know y'all like that better. So group 2, Oya. Nutrition. I lovingly take charge of my body now. 6 is the number. The star in reverse. 8 of coins. And the hanged man. You are ignoring your body's, not even your body, but some of you, it is your body. You're having health issues that you're ignoring. You realize that you're fatigued. You are acknowledging those things, but you are not crediting them to messages from your body that something is not right. So I hear people say, I hear it, and I'm so tired today. And you can hear you say it a lot. Or why can't I eat? Or why is my appetite this way? I hear it. And for some of you, you're having breathing problems. And I don't know why I feel this, but some of you are, if you're female, are having abnormalities in discharge, okay? So it's like mucusy or something, I don't know. So with the star card in reverse, the 8 of coins, you're not putting enough effort into maintaining your health or the health of a situation itself. Because nutrition can also be the things that you're feeding your spirit every day, the efforts that you're putting towards the projects that you are passionate about. And I feel as if things have opened up for you, but the fact that you aren't paying attention to your soul, your basic needs, is blocking the trail. Okay, so you're being asked to really take seriously the clues and the messages that your body are giving you, or that the situation is presenting to you, because the health of it is fading, but just because you are not following the clues. Breathing, lungs, throat, here with Oya. Yeah, the number 9 too. So it's almost like I feel like even in your environment, you're receiving messages about different things that could help you, different herbs, and I feel as if you just kind of got this scattered energy. And you won't follow through with the things that are being given to you. I do feel like someone is starting regimens and then not finishing them. Miracles exist. Consciousness and imagination go hand in hand. Sheer effort without, or you're working hard towards something that's not even your goal or your wish. There's a path open to you, yet you're not walking it. And you're being asked to lovingly nurture this path that you're being given. Move away from whatever it is that is causing you anxiety, being overworked, and move towards this path because it's been cleared for you. And I do get the feeling that I'm not doing readings from you guys from the group right now. I'm doing pick a card, messages from the Orishas. So yeah. You're being asked to take charge of your personal path. You know, I'm going to nurture my path, the path that I've chosen. And understand that it's not all your effort. Your effort is being joined with the efforts of the spiritual realm to bring your path, to bring the things that you desire or the things that you're meant to pursue success, bring success to those things. So, moving on to group 3, heart. This is Ogun. Words. I am awake to the power of my words. And already I get this feeling that you're aware of, if I speak lovingly, how it brings healing to a situation. If I speak recklessly or harshly, it brings more tension and angst to the situation. This is a simple truth that some of us have yet to come to. With the number 6 here on the words card, I feel as if, you know, there's a shift because now you're learning that I need to speak with compassion, with love, forgiveness, understanding, humility. And when I do that, I receive greater rewards. Nine of Cups in reverse, 2 of Staffs in reverse, King of Swords in reverse. Yes. So, you know, a lot of times when we're not speaking with our true intention, our true feelings, it's because we've had to turn into this cold being. So we're reacting out of pain, out of hurt, out of resentment. And so the shift or the advice is that you begin to soften your words. You know, open your heart to love so that your expressions can be of that. Okay? So beautiful, Jessica. I'm glad that resonates with you. And this is also, I mean, I'm hearing so many messages because I feel like the Orishas and angels, our guides, are here to help us navigate our path, help us remove blocks from it, right? And so whatever angels or higher beings or guides that you work with, you know, that's their purpose. And when the path is not clear, that's when they come in to assist, to make clear the next step to take. Nine of Cups in reverse, you know, there's a lack of wish fulfillment, lack of direction. You know, you don't know which path is going to bring you fulfillment. And the King of Swords is here to say, you may be being a little harsh, okay, honestly, and cold. There's no warmth in your expression of what you need or what you desire. Psalm 60 and 4, let's see. Keep your eyes open. Yeah. Look at that fallout from the things that you've said. Look at the fallout over the last few months, the things that you've expressed verbally and the way you expressed them, and what was the result yielded. You've made the earth quake. You've shaken things up. And for some, you know, that shakeup may have been good. And it was what was needed at that time to separate you from anything that wasn't meant to be journeying with you forward. But now you have to awaken to the fact that that coldness is no longer needed, okay? That protective shield that you were putting around you with defensiveness and coldness, you can let it go. All right, Shango. Shango. I'm sorry, I gotta look back at group 3. Yeah. So just maintain awareness about how you're expressing yourself and how it's affecting your environment, and then make changes and adjustments as needed. They don't have to be huge changes, but little baby steps help. So group 3, Shango. Creativity. I now recognize my creativity. Number 4, 10 of Swords, 6 of Cups. Sorry, it's not the 6 of Cups. It's actually Lovers. So, Lovers past, since I said 6 of Cups, so Lovers past or past choices. And the Ace of Cups in reverse. Yep. So, okay, so you're gonna have to figure out, this is the message. There's definitely some creative ways to deal with what is being, okay, first of all, we got the 10 of Swords here in reverse. So your life force, I feel like, is being returned to you. This whole karmic cycle that you're coming out of, and this kind of corresponds with that last one, so whoever that's for. But the karmic cycle that you've come out of, the karmic returns that you've been dealing with, it's coming to an end now. And for me, it was meant to show you, while this one is the words, this one is to show you how your past choices have affected the abundance of a situation. Some of you are being guided to dance a little more, to just sing whenever you feel like singing, because this is meditation in itself, and it'll help you to awaken certain energies, life force energy that's just kind of waiting to spill out in a creative way. And I feel like if you've been having creative blocks, then this is why. You know, you're going to have to come into balance with your divine masculine and feminine energies inside, okay? And where we're for a lot of people, that balancing, there's a dance that I do all the time. I kind of just move myself in all these weird ways, but I always feel very creative afterwards, okay? So if you've been experiencing creative blocks, then maybe even change your music choices, because the things that we listen to entertain our psyche. I also get the feeling if you're dealing with addiction of any sort or overindulgence in something, you're gonna have to find you're being asked, dance, sing. If you're dealing with addiction or overindulgence, if you come to feel like you need to have that thing, you're being told to find a creative outlet, okay? For me, anxiety was a huge thing, and to deal with anxiety, I would smoke weed. Or I was overindulging, and then my whole cannabinoid system went like, bleh. So I had to find creative ways to get out of that anxiousness. I would be sweating if I wasn't smoking. There was a lot of things that were going on, and I was going outside for walks. I was dancing. I mean, I was just doing anything I could. And then one day I thought, after many suggestions, to just go try CBD. And it worked. So I don't smoke weed no more. So Psalms 14:5. Message here is definitely find creative ways to break free from old patterns and thoughts. You know, we get stuck thinking that we have to make leaps and bounds in our recovery process. And one day at a time, it's a success. You know, count every day as success that you refrain from falling back into an old cycle or old train of thought or dependence on something, because I feel like there's a dependence on something here too. Choose your friends wisely. Monitor your relationships with these different things. Keep monitoring. You know, this is not to keep yourself. I get the idea that a lot of this is doing things for temporary gratification. So like you know, sacrificing your morality or your beliefs and things like that for just a temporary fix, okay? I feel like there was a huge sacrifices being made just to have this thing. Choose your friends wisely. Pay attention to the connections, the feelings that you get when you're around people, the types of stuff that takes place when you're with these people or in these types of environments is important to consider. Group 5, Aron Mila. Peace. I choose a peaceful way of life. Number 11. Knight of Cups in reverse. 5 of Coins. Queen of Coins in reverse. Your peace of mind is being interrupted by your lack of insight on a situation. So here I feel as if you can bring something to greater balance if you take the time to, okay, so a lot of times we'll project outwards, you know, fault and things like that onto something outside of ourselves regarding a situation. So if there's been any loss recently or in a situation where you felt that you got less than you deserve, then take the time and focus your intention when you're going into meditation. Focus your intention on seeing the truth of that situation so that you're no longer under an illusion about what's right, what's wrong, who did what, because oftentimes in those situations, there is something that we may miss. And anytime that we're holding on to hurt and pain and not allowing ourselves to have peace, it's because we've yet to see or come to understand the value of this thing that has brought the value of this, the teaching of the situation. And so it comes in and it robs you of your peace. Come into alignment with your truth regarding the situation, how you may have contributed to it. And when I say contributed to it, lack of boundaries, you know, if you feel like someone stole from you or took something or got something that you deserved, you know, what in you would cause that. So the message from Arun Miller is to so that you can open your channels to receive the guidance and insight based on these situations to bring healing to them, so that you go ahead and move on and progress to your next level of spiritual development. 11 came here, balance and enlightenment. Okay, so no longer should you allow these situations. If you have, I feel like there's a lack of peace, but it's all around you, you're just feeling chaos and stress and anxiety, and it's simply because you haven't really sought the spiritual influence. What is spiritual influence? You haven't come into oneness with what is really happening in the situation. And so it's causing anxiety, anticipation. So you're asked to choose peace. Choose peace. I'm being told to read this meditation for peace out of this book. By the way, these some of these cards were inspired by the Louise Hayes Meditations to Heal Your Life. So I'm going to go read peace for this group. The number is 173. I felt the need to say that, so I guess I did. I choose a peaceful way of life. Peace begins with me. If I want to live in a peaceful world, then it's up to me to make sure I am a peaceful person. No matter how others behave, I keep peace in my heart. I declare peace in the midst of chaos or madness. I surround all difficult situations with peace and love. I send thoughts of peace to all troubled parts of the world. If I want the world to change for the better, then I need to change the way I see the world. I am now willing to see life in a very positive way. I know that peace begins with my own thoughts. As I continue to have peaceful thoughts, I am connected with like-minded, peaceful, thinking people. Together, we will help bring peace and plenty to our world. Come into alignment with a higher purpose in the situation, and you will be at peace. All right. And last but not least, number 6, Yamoya, representing the sacral chakra, addiction. Some people may be dealing with sex addictions or sensory addictions, okay? Also may be feeling restricted about their sexuality. 6 of Wands, 4 of Swords, 2 of Coins in reverse. Addiction reads, I claim my power and move beyond any limitations. So, you know, yep, some of you, this group is being asked to detox. Not just body, but I do get the feeling that you do need to detox your body. I'm hearing salt bath, salt water baths. To detox, to pull some type of toxins out, and probably focused on the feet, okay? I don't know why, but so maybe like a foot soak or something. I don't know why that came up that way. So 6 of Staffs, 4 of Swords, okay? Take with you forward this sense of freedom regarding your sensuality and your sexuality. There might be some body consciousness here, but there's also you've been cleared of some things, okay? Cleared of some I keep wanting to say restrictions, but you know, restrictions fall away and then we'll remain restricted in our mind. And it's almost as if, am I ready to, the situation is going to allow me to have full and free expression here, but am I ready to allow myself to do that? I also get the feeling that there's like I say, purification. Some of you may be asked to, if there's a sexual type of addiction, asked to fast. And highlighting that however whatever your relationship is with your sensuality or your sexuality, there's higher meaning to, wants you to recognize the greater purpose. Yeah, the message for you, if you're having sexual addiction, there's higher purpose to those interactions than your personal fulfillment. the sensual desires being filled. That's what I'm trying to say. So purifying your thoughts regarding sexuality, and I get the feeling you might just need to read a book about it. You might need to read about conscious creation from the sacral chakra, how you use sacral energies to create. Okay? And releasing any base type emotions. This will free you and allow you to celebrate yourself, your sensuality, your sexuality. It will allow you to fully accept. Yeah, I get the feeling that this kind of gives me like the Eight of Swords energy in reverse, where the situation, you're ready and willing, you're ready and supported as you walk out now in your full self, your truest self, whatever that means for you. However, you won't let yourself be celebrated. You won't celebrate this part of you that you've kind of put in a box. And you're being asked to go ahead and celebrate that part of you. Those feelings, even if they're just feelings that you're having, celebrate those feelings. Priorities keep coming up. It's like your stability, what you're creating in life, all these different things take priority over sex. And you need to make that balance. You need to make that a right balance. I just heard, it's my body, I can do what I want to. Well, yeah, you can, but you can continue to cause yourself disdain in your situations. You know, if you're not understanding, if you're not in right relation with the higher cause and higher purpose of these actions that you're taking. You have more than enough strength. At last, you know yourself. You know your strengths, your weaknesses, your limitations. Congratulations. Yes. So that was Psalms 103:5. So totally, as you come into this fullness of self, you have been addicted to being restricted. Honestly, you're addicted to being restricted. You're addicted to having rules and barriers put around you, and you've been freed. The doors have been opened for you to go ahead and journey forward without those. Allow yourself out of the box. I claim my power and move beyond all limitations. I claim my power and move beyond all limitations. I'm going to go ahead and read that too. It's a 5, guys. Reduced to 5. No, it was 5. I forgive myself and I set myself free. Heavy dependence on anything outside myself is addiction. I can be addicted to drugs and alcohol, to sex and tobacco, and I can also be addicted to blaming people or judging people, to illness, to debt, to being a victim, to being rejected. Yet I can move beyond these things. Being addicted is giving up my power to a substance or a habit. I can always take my power back. This is the moment I take my power back. I choose to develop the positive habit of knowing that life is here for me. I am willing to forgive myself and move on. I have an eternal spirit that has always been with me, and it is here with me now. I relax and let go, and I remember to breathe as I release old habits and practice positive new ones. Yeah, there's a shift in mindset here. Embrace this shift, these new thoughts and feelings that you're having about your position in this world, your connectedness to self and to your surroundings. That is beautiful. Let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and close with the meditation real quick from Miss Louise Hay. Okay. Parents are wonderful people. They too were children once. Now is the time for me to stand up on my own 2 feet, to support myself, to think for myself, to give myself what my parents couldn't give me. The more I learn about their childhoods, the more I understand their limitations. No one taught me how to be parents, taught them how to be parents. They were living out of limitations of their own parents. Parent issues are something we all deal with every day, so the best we can do is to love them as they are and affirm that they love us as we are. I do not use my parents as an excuse for the negative parts of my life. I bless my parents with love and release them to happiness that is meaningful to them. That's actually beautiful. And if you've ever, I've actually been guilty of that. So if you ever found yourself blaming anyone or anybody, anyone, anything outside of yourself for a situation. You know, you literally just gave your power to that situation. And we're asked to call it back. As soon as we acknowledge that we did that, we're asked to call it back. And these situations with parents are not always easily handled, okay? They're sensitive because, again, they said, we understand, once we come to understand the root of our parents' behaviors, they're no longer at blame, and we come to understand that they're not to blame, you know. There's also healing as they see us growing into our highest and dopest selves. They're also now finally getting a chance to grow for a lot of our parents, and release restrictions and limitations set on them. I feel that a lot of it's ancestral healing is what I just heard. A lot of us stepping into our own power and just kind of like not continuing that cycle of blaming, or repeating behaviors that really didn't do anyone good the first time around. The last 10 generations is what I heard. Then you heal the situation, and you don't have to disrespect anybody. You don't have to try to confront. I've been guilty. You don't have to try to confront everybody about their part in it, you know. So release it. That's what that is. It's come show compassion for your parents' position and where they came from, and move forward, you know. So thank you for watching. I hope that your messages resonated. If so, feel free to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I look forward to talking with you again.